Okay, guys. So in our previous session, we already have seen about the course workflow. What are the things we are going to cover in the course? So, as we know, the first half part of the course is for Python, and then after we will come to the ArcPy. But meanwhile, actually, I am doing many more things. So most probably means in our course we are going to get many more things. Okay, means whatever the things we have mentioned in the course content, you are going to get many other libraries as well. Okay, so for that actually you everyone has to do practice properly. So as we know, our course is going to start from scratch. So this course is related to the Python and ArcPy. So first we are going to discuss about the Python. What is Python? What is language? What is programming language? So please understand carefully. And sometime when time allows, then after the session we will have some small quiz also. This is just a kind of recap of the session. Okay, this is not like we are going to get some marks on that. This is simply recap of the session. So make sure everyone please listen carefully. And after that, we will see the questions. Like today, we have this questionnaire, and for the online examination, you guys already have access on the this online exam portal, correct? So from that portal, you can raise request and team will approve and you can appear the examination. And my suggestion is appear multiple time for the same exam. Because the reason is whenever we are creating the exam, so let's suppose there are 50 questions are there in total means for the particular subject and we have created the examination with 20 questions. So every time whenever you will give the exam or whenever you will appear the exam in examination, then every time you will get random questions from the 50 questions. So it is not like one time you have given the exam, so next time you will get the same questionnaire. Every time you will get different. Okay, so coming to the Python, what is Python? So one thing you already know, Python is a programming language because now these days I think no one in this world who don't know about the Python. So even now these days if you check the this ICSC board or CBSE board kids, so in fifth sixth class they knows about the Python. That is different story. They don't know about how to run and all, but they knows what is Python. So if you try to find the definition of the Python in Google, so this is the most common definition what you will get means Python is a interpreted high level and general purpose programming language. Python is a interpreted high level and general purpose programming language. So we need to understand what these words, what are the meaning of these words, so that we should not basically we don't require to memorize this definition. Correct. So if you understand the definition, if you understand the word what we have written in this definition, then if you go for the interview, you can explain in detail what is Python and all. So the first word is the interpreted, then high level, then general purpose, and then programming language. These are the four important words we have in this definition. The Python is an interpreted high level and general purpose programming language. So we'll try to understand what these words are there. So before that, what is the programming language? What is the programming language? And even before coming to the programming language, because as you know, our course, as I already told you, course is going to start from zero. So everything is going to start from zero only. So even before going to discuss about the programming language, we can discuss about the language. What is the language? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of the language? What is the significance of the language in our life? हम लोग क्या करते हैं लैंग्वेज से? लैंग्वेज का क्या जरूरत है?
It is a way of communication.
ओके, सिंपल थिंग कि लैंग्वेज इज द way of communication. It means if we want to communicate, or if we want to communicate our ideas, if we want to communicate something to our friend or somewhere someone, then we should basically we have to use what? We have to use the language. Without language we cannot, because वो पुराने समय में होते थे ना, इशारों की लैंग्वेज होती थी, फिर उसके बाद कुछ कुछ ऐसे लैंग्वेज अब आते गई, बढ़ती गई मतलब these all are basically the means improvement of the language. That is all. That was also called the symbolic language. So symbolic language means even before 100 years also people basically communicate the ideas, but that time maybe they don't know about the proper language. They had communicated with some different symbolic language and all. But now there is no meaning to talk about the symbolic language. So here we have the language, and language is basically system or medium of the communication. Now after that, when we will come to the programming language, so ultimately, as you know, the meaning of language is this is a tool, or this is a, as we already seen, the medium of what? Communication. So ultimately, you are going to communicate something to someone. Because of that reason, you are using language. So here also the same thing when we are talking about the programming language. So here we want to communicate something to machine. We want to communicate something to machine. So if we want to communicate something with laptop, if you want to communicate something with any machine, so we need something which that machine can understand. Correct? So the programming language is what? The programming language is the way or systematic language which we are writing and which we are using to give instruction to machine. And the next important thing here is machine. Basically, machine is not understanding this English or Hindi or any language. Machine will understand only one language. That language is called the, what it is called?
Binary code.
It is called the binary language. Sometime it is called binary language, sometime it is called machine language. So ultimately, machine language or binary language both are same, and this language consists only two words, 0 and 1. So here the thing is, computer or device, any device will understand only binary, and the language understand by computer, this is called what? This is called the programming language. So now we will try to dig deep in this. So to understand this, so here when we are talking about the programming language, this programming language is a very big history. This is not like started now or before 10 years. This is a very long history of the programming language. When people have invented the computer, after that they found that we need some language, and we can write some program, we can instruct computer to do something. For that they have these scientists had started something to do for this line. But the thing is, that time technology, knowledge, these all things are not that much mature. So as we know, computer or any machine understand only binary 0 1 0 1 0 1. So initially, scientists have written programs using 0 1 0 1 0 1 only. Okay. Initially, scientist has written programs using 0 1 0 1 0 1, because actually one more thing, you can maybe you can ask a question कि अरे इतना बड़ा बड़ा प्रोग्राम कैसे लिखा वो लोग ने 0 1 0 1 0 1। तो पहली चीज तो क्या है, उस समय ऐसा बड़ा बड़ा प्रोग्राम भी नहीं होता था, बिकॉज वो सब जो है एक बहुत स्टार्टिंग स्टेज का मामला था। तो उस समय क्या छोटे छोटे प्रोग्राम लिखते थे कि अरे हमने दो नंबर को ऐड करने का प्रोग्राम लिख दिया, हमने जो है कुछ तो मैथमेटिक्स का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने का प्रोग्राम लिख दिया। सो ऐसे छोटे छोटे प्रोग्राम होते थे। सो दैट प्रोग्राम साइंटिस्ट हैड रिटन विद द हेल्प ऑफ व्हाट, with the help of binary language or machine language using 0 1 0 1 0 1. That time, that era is basically, that era was called the, or that language was called the low level language. Okay. Low level language, or that is called the first generation language. So the first generation language, if someone can, maybe someone will ask you, which programming language people have used in first generation. So in the first generation, people have used which language? Machine language, correct? And this consists only 0 and 1. And that is that language or machine language comes under the low level language. Now after that, because to write the program using 0 1 0 1 0 1, this was very tough. So as you know, in technology, always people are or scientists are doing something new. So they have got some idea, and they started using, means along with 0 1 0 1 0 1, they started writing small words, small words like add, subtraction, multiplication, division. So these small words, what they have used along with the 0 1 0 1 0 1, first of all, these small words is called the mnemonics. What this is called? This is called the mnemonics. वो M जो है वो क्या रहता है, साइलेंट है। तो these small words what people have used along with 0 1 0 1 0 1, that small words are called the mnemonics. And the language what they achieved, where they have the combination of 0 1 0 1 0 1 and small words, that language is called the assembly language. What it is called? This is called the assembly language, and assembly language comes under the second generation language or middle level language. Okay, understood? So we have low level, we have middle level, We have first generation, second generation. Low level language means machine language, and middle level language means assembly language. Now, after that, continuously people or scientists have done many research and all. Then finally, the third era started. That language which comes in the third era, that is called the high level language or third generation language. So the current generation, what we are able to see, that language or that generation is the third generation. And the language what we are using, these all languages are called the third generation language or high level language. So we have programming language, we divided in three categories: low level, mid level and high level. लो लेवल में क्या आता है? मशीन लैंग्वेज आता है. मिडिल लेवल में आता है असेंबली लैंग्वेज, एंड all other languages what you heard, these all languages comes under the high level language. लो लेवल लैंग्वेज को ही हम क्या बोलते हैं? फर्स्ट जनरेशन. मिडिल लेवल को हम बोलते हैं सेकेंड जनरेशन, एंड हाई लेवल को हम बोलते हैं थर्ड जनरेशन. Now, after that, as I told you and as I already explained you, a machine is always understand what? Machine will understand only binary language or machine language or 010101. So, whatever the programming we are doing, means whatever the program we are writing, like JavaScript, Node.js, C Sharp, Python, Java, any language. What we are using, these all languages, we are writing program in which language? English. Correct? Correct है ना? हम लोग इंग्लिश में ही लिखते हैं ना. But the thing is, when we are writing the program in English, then how computer will understand this language? How computer will understand this language? Because that is for sure कि computer cannot understand the English. Computer can understand only binary language 010101. अगर इसको हम ऐसे कंपेयर करें कि लेट्स सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल आप कोई ऐसी जगह पे गए जहाँ पे कि आपकी लैंग्वेज कोई नहीं समझता. ठीक है? फॉर एग्जांपल, you visited a place where no one can understand your language. For example, you went to China. करेक्ट? चाइना में आपको पता है ना कि चाइना में गूगल फूगल कुछ भी नहीं है. उनका खुद का ही है सब कुछ. एंड एवरीथिंग दे हैव written in Chinese language only. So if you want to convey your thoughts, if you want to do conversation with someone, then how basically we can do? Can anyone tell me? और अच्छा एक काम करते हैं, और एक इजी सा एग्जांपल बोलता हूँ मैं. अभी अपना जो इंडिया के जो पॉलिटिशियंस हैं, करेक्ट है? आपको पता ही है सारे पॉलिटिशियंस तो बड़े बड़े हैं, महान लोग हैं. Some politicians are educated, some politicians are basically they have good connect with the people, but they are not means well educated, and they don't know about the English also. But uh, but they are always roaming here and there. Correct? They are always roaming China, Japan, इधर सब जगह. जैसे अभी अपना प्राइम मिनिस्टर है ना, मोदी जी. मोदी जी इज ऑलवेज roaming here and there. Then can you tell me how he is communicating with Chinese people or Japanese people?
They are using translators.
They are using translators, correct. So they are using translator means वो जो translator रहता है that he knows about both the languages. Let's suppose English and Chinese. So he knows about English and Chinese both. Then whatever Modi ji will tell, he will convert to the Chinese, and whatever that guy will reply, he will convert to English. So Modi ji समझ जाते हैं, काम हो जाता है. Same thing here also, because here exactly same replica. Computer is not understanding English. Then whatever the English we are writing, whatever the English program we are writing, that program basically should convert or has to convert to 010101. Then computer will understand. So for that we required what? We also required one translator. So one thing is clear, कि in this world, if you are going to work with any language, if you are going to work with any language, so you required what? You required the translator. Correct? यहाँ तक कोई क्वेश्चन तो नहीं आपके दिमाग में? क्लियर है यहाँ
No.
तक? So whenever you are going to use any language, whatever the language you heard, if you are going to use any language, so one thing is for sure कि every language we require translator, because ultimately you are not going to write program in 010101. You are going to write a program in English, and that program computer has to understand. So we need one translator. So now coming to the translator, ट्रांसलेटर आपको समझ में आ गया कि ट्रांसलेटर का रोल क्या है. नाउ यहाँ पे अपने कंप्यूटर में देर आर थ्री टाइप ऑफ ट्रांसलेटर वी हैव. ओके, देर आर थ्री टाइप ऑफ ट्रांसलेटर वी हैव. पहली चीज ये, इफ यू जस्ट थिंक अबाउट बिफोर टू स्लाइड्स वी हैव सीन, देर आर थ्री जनरेशन, करेक्ट? फर्स्ट जनरेशन, सेकेंड जनरेशन एंड थर्ड जनरेशन, या फिर हम क्या बोलते हैं, लो लेवल, मिडिल लेवल एंड हाई लेवल. So the program what we have written in low level, the program what we have written in low level, do we require any translator for that? अपने को कोई चाहिए क्या ट्रांसलेटर उसके लिए?
No.
No.
नो, करेक्ट. बिकॉज हमने प्रोग्राम किस में लिखा हुआ है? हमने प्रोग्राम ही किस चीज में लिखा है? हमने
Machine
प्रोग्राम
language.
मशीन लैंग्वेज में लिखा है, 010101.
Machine language.
एंड कंप्यूटर भी क्या समझता है? मशीन लैंग्वेज 01. सो ये सबको समझ में आ गया कि in first generation or in low level language we don't require any translator. Now coming to the second generation or mid level, in second generation the language what we have used, that language name is assembly language. So the translator what we are using to convert assembly language to machine language, that translator is called the assembler. Correct? Understood? First generation, we don't require any translator. Coming to the second generation, in second generation, there is only one language. That language name is assembly language. So assembly language को convert करने के लिए जो translator का जरूरत पड़ता है, वो translator का नाम क्या है? Assembler. Now after that, coming to the high level language. When we are coming to the high level language, so there are two things. Okay, there are two things means the way of translating means let's suppose here we have high level language. We have high level language, and as you know, computer computer will understand only 010101. So यहाँ पे now we need what? We need one translator. That translator will convert this language to the machine level language and our work will be done. So when we are talking about high level language and translator, then people have created two type of translator. People have created two type of translator in high level language. दोनों का डिफरेंस क्या है कि एक एक ट्रांसलेटर ऐसा है कि जैसे कि आपने एक प्रोग्राम लिखा, ठीक है, लेट्स सपोज यू हैव रिटन some program here. Okay, you have written one program. Now the thing is we want to convert this program because this program we have written in high level language. So we need to translate this program to what? To 010101. Correct? Then machine or computer can understand. तो यहाँ पे there is a two type of translator we have. One translator will convert your program to machine level language, means the one translator is convert your language or convert your program to machine level language line by line. वो क्या करता है? एक एक लाइन कन्वर्ट करता है एंड कंप्यूटर पे वो प्रोग्राम चल जाता है. एंड अनदर वे ऑफ ट्रांसलेशन इज, ये पूरा प्रोग्राम वो लेता है और उस पूरे प्रोग्राम को किस में कन्वर्ट करता है? वो 010101 में कन्वर्ट करता है. अब दोनों में प्रॉब्लम क्या है? प्रॉन्स एंड कॉन्स क्या है? द प्रॉन्स एंड कॉन्स इज कि when a translator which is going to convert line by line, so let's suppose that translator got some error here. That translator got some error where? That translator got some error in this place. Then what will happen? At least your these four line has executed and you will get output of these four line. In other hand, the second translator which is going to convert this complete program in 010101. So here if the error is same, that error is here, then this complete program will not translate. This is the pros and cons of two type of translator. So the translator which converts line by line, the translator which converts line by line, that translator is called interpreter. And the other translator which converts complete program in one shot, that translator is called the compiler. Okay, understood? क्लियर है? यहां तक क्लियर है? किसी को प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं कुछ? तो हमारे
नहीं।
पास टोटल मिला के क्या है? असेंबलर है, कंपाइलर है एंड इंटरप्रेटर है. तो अभी थोड़ी देर के लिए, बिकॉज वी आर इन द थर्ड जनरेशन, वी आर इन द हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज, so I am not going to talk about the first generation and assembler and all. We will focus on the third generation where we are using either compiler or interpreter. In Because as you know, there are n number of languages are there. Okay, there are n number of languages are there. All the languages, either they are using compiler or they are using interpreter. ठीक है? मतलब if you will take name of any language and just try to find in Google if this language is a interpreter based language or compiler based language, so Google will tell you that this language is a compiler based language, this language is an interpreter based language. And now you know, if any language is the interpreter based language, it means when the interpreter start translating, then whatever the lines are correct, that output we will get, and where we will get the error, after that output we will not get. But in case of the compiler, if in entire program any one error will be there, then complete program will be fail, we will not get any output. Now there are some pros and cons we have in the compiler and interpreter, that also we will see, then you can understand. So this you understood कि assembler is converting assembly language to machine language, and compiler and interpreter जो है वो that is convert high level language to machine level language. Okay, now coming to the, ये क्लियर है सभी को ना कंपाइलर और इंटरप्रेटर का फंडा? अंडरस्टूड एवरीवन?
Yes.
Okay. Now coming to the, just try to understand कि भाई कंपाइलर बेस्ड लैंग्वेज अगर हम यूज करते हैं, देन व्हाट इज द वर्क फ्लो एंड कैसे क्या होता है. सो टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस इज वन means a pictorial representation where I am trying to explain you how the compiler based language will work. Left side machine is your machine, right side machine is your client machine. Left side machine is the developer machine and right side machine is the client machine. Client has given you some work and client want the application that he will run on the machine. Then here you have written a program. Okay, definitely because you got the project, so you have written the program. Then after you have used the compiler and you got the binary file. Binary file means machine language file. And that machine language file हम लोग किसको भेज देते हैं? क्लाइंट को भेज देते हैं. क्लाइंट विल उसको डायरेक्टली क्या करेगा? रन करेगा और हैप्पी हैप्पी हो जाएगा कि भैया काम हो गया. This approach, the output of this approach is, the output of this approach जो मैंने लिखा है ना वहां पे executable, the output of this approach is the exe file. What is the output of this approach? Output of this compiler based language is exe file. आपने बहुत exe file यूज करी होगी ना. कुछ भी इंस्टॉल करने के लिए हम क्या यूज करते हैं? exe फाइल यूज करते हैं ना। कुछ भी प्रोग्राम को रन करने के लिए वी आर यूजिंग exe फाइल. सो दैट exe फाइल is the result of what? Is the result of compiler based language. So if you have any language which is compiler based, so in your machine you have written the code, you have used the compiler, you converted your code to the machine language code, and that file you have sent to the client. Client directly double click किया, run किया, he got the output and he is happy. Clear? इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम है? इसमें कोई कंफ्यूजन तो नहीं है? कोई कंफ्यूजन? एनी कंफ्यूजन फॉर दिस?
No.
गुड. नाउ कमिंग टू द इंटरप्रेटर बेस्ड लैंग्वेज. इंटरप्रेटर में क्या होता है? सेम थिंग, सेम सिनेरियो. यू गॉट द प्रोजेक्ट, you are using a language which is basically using the interpreter based approach. You have written the code. Now after that you need to send this code to the client. You need to send this code to the client. Client will have interpreter. Client will convert this code to the machine level machine language, and he will get the output. ये दो अप्रोच में आपको कुछ एक चीज ऐसा समझ में आ रहा होगा कि इन there are some points I am just trying to highlight. In the first approach, compiler based approach, we have written the code, we have compiled, we got the executable file 010101 file. You have given this file to the client. Client will run and he will get the output. Now in both the approach, पहला क्वेश्चन, क्लाइंट का एफर्ट कहाँ पे ज्यादा है? पहले वाले अप्रोच में ज्यादा है या दूसरे अप्रोच में ज्यादा है?
दूसरे में सर.
दूसरे में ज्यादा है. ठीक है, चलो ये हो गया सेट. दूसरा क्वेश्चन, इन द फर्स्ट अप्रोच, in the first approach, whatever the code you have written, that you have compiled and it is converted to the 010101 and you have given that file to the client. But in the second approach, whatever the code you have written, you have directly given that code to the client. In which approach code is secure?
फर्स्ट वन.
फर्स्ट वन. करेक्ट.
First
क्योंकि
one.
फर्स्ट वन में आपने क्या कर दिया, उसको मशीन लैंग्वेज में चेंज कर दिया, तो उसके बाद तो कोई उसको पढ़ नहीं सकता. लेकिन जो सेकेंड अप्रोच है, इन द सेकेंड अप्रोच people can easily see your code, people can easily modify your code. So ये आपको एक चीज समझ में आया कि ये प्रॉब्लम है. सेकेंड, थर्ड पॉइंट, इन what you are thinking कि in which approach performance will be good? आपको क्या लगता है कि किस अप्रोच में परफॉर्मेंस, क्लाइंट के हिसाब से परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा रहेगा, क्लाइंट को ज्यादा एफर्ट नहीं है? फर्स्ट अप्रोच और सेकंड अप्रोच दोनों में कौन सा ऐसा जिसमें क्लाइंट को मेहनत नहीं है, आपको परफॉर्मेंस किस में अच्छा मिलेगा?
मे बी फर्स्ट.
फर्स्ट वाला ना
First.
भाई. फर्स्ट में तो कुछ करना ही नहीं है. फर्स्ट में डायरेक्टली यू हैव गिवन द एग्जीक्यूटेबल फाइल, जस्ट ही नीड टू डबल क्लिक. बट इफ इट कमिंग टू द सेकंड अप्रोच, हियर क्लाइंट रिक्वायर्ड व्हाट? Here client required the interpreter. Client has to convert this file to the 010101, then only client can run. Correct? So these are the some plus and minus. Then we'll see how the things will move forward. So these are the some points. Compiler based approach and interpreter based approach. In compiler based, whatever the output we are getting, this is ready to run रहता है, faster रहता है, source code private रहता है, not cross platform, inflexible, ऐसा सब कुछ तो पॉइंट्स हैं. इसमें एक पॉइंट है थर्ड नंबर का, फोर्थ नंबर का, नॉट क्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस? एज यू नो, एज यू नो, Windows machine architecture is different and Mac machine architecture is different, correct? You agree with me? Windows machine internal architecture is totally different with the Mac machine. Because of that reason, we cannot run the same application on Windows and Mac machine, correct? We need different executable file for the Windows machine and different executable file for the Mac machine. So when you are using the compiler based approach, when you are using the compiler based approach, then we need to write same program two times. एक बार विंडो के लिए और एक बार मैक के लिए. लेकिन if we are using the interpreter based approach, because in an interpreter based approach, who should have the interpreter? Who should have the interpreter? Client, correct? Who should have interpreter? Client should have, because I already shown you in the process. In the interpreter based approach, client should have the interpreter. So whatever the code you are writing doesn't matter. Client is using Mac or client is using Windows. You have written the code and given this code to the client, and doesn't matter what machine he has. Based on the machine, he can compile, basically he can interpreter, he can run the interpreter, he can get the output and enjoy. So this approach is basically what that is called the cross platform approach. So if you are working in the interpreter based approach, if your language is an interpreter based language, so most of the cases that language is working in both the platform, means you no need to write code for different environment, different code. Single code will run on Windows machine as well as Mac machine. So here the points what I mentioned here. So like interpreter cross platform hota hai, simple to test, easier to debug, often slower, source code public, interpreter required, cross platform, ये सब चीजें कुछ plus and minus point है. Some of the point we already have discussed. Now after getting all these pros and cons, scientists have done some R&D and they try to find intermediate approach. हाइब्रिड अप्रोच भी बोलते हैं उसको. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? इंटरप्रेटेड अप्रोच या फिर हाइब्रिड अप्रोच बोलते हैं. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस इंटरप्रेटर बेस्ड अप्रोच? प्लीज रिमेंबर all the points what we have discussed just now, pros and cons. तो अभी यहाँ पे देखिए, you have written the code, then आपने क्या किया? You have one compiler. That compiler converts your code to the intermediate language code. That compiler converts your code to the intermediate language code. This intermediate language file you have sent to the client. Then client required one interpreter, and that interpreter will convert this intermediate language code to the 010101. Ab, what is happening in this approach? First of all, whatever the code you have written here, that code you have converted, you have used the compiler and you have converted this code to the intermediate language code. What is the meaning of the intermediate language code? The meaning of the intermediate language code is this is partially converted. This is not 100% converted code. This is partially converted. So because it is partially converted and you are sending IL file to the client, so client cannot see your code. So आपका पहला प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हुआ सिक्योरिटी का. पहला प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्व हो गया, सिक्योरिटी का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गया. सेकेंड थिंग, this intermediate language file client can run on any machine. Client can run on the Windows machine, client can run on the Mac machine. So your second problem will solve cross platform, कि मतलब आपको कोड दो बार लिखने का जरूरत नहीं है. Just you have written the code in one and that code is going to work on Windows machine, Mac machine, any machine. So this is basically what this is and here when client will receive this intermediate language file, client cannot modify any code here. So आपका कोड भी बच गया, client कोई देख नहीं सकता. So this is the intermediate approach. What basically we I think understood, and exactly our Python is using the hybrid approach. Python is using intermediate approach. Whenever you will try to find in Google what is Python, basically everywhere you will get the definition Python is a interpreted language. Everywhere you will get what? Python is a interpreted language. But internally, Python is using which approach? Python is using intermediate approach, not the interpreter approach. Okay, understood? Clear? This is just a pictorial representation ki what the source code we have written, compiler, then we have intermediate language code. That intermediate language code will run on any machine, but the important condition is all these machines should require the interpreter. Windows machine will require Windows interpreter, Linux machine required Linux interpreter, Mac machine required Mac interpreter. But this IL file, this intermediate language file will remain same. This file will work on all the platform. And finally, it will convert to the machine language code and computer can understand. This is the Python approach. So source code, whatever the source code we have written, first we have used what? The source code, what we have written, as you know, Python file extension is what? Python file extension is, anyone can tell me what is the extension of Python file?
.py.
.py file. Once you have written the code, this code extension is .py. After that, you have sent this code to the compiler. Compiler will convert this file, and if you remember, just before slide what we have discussed, we have used the compiler and it will generate the intermediate language file, correct? So as soon as you will use the compiler, then it will convert the file and you will get the file .pyc. What is the file extension? .pyc. pyc का मतलब क्या है? Python compiled. So the intermediate language file extension is what? Intermediate language file extension is .pyc. And after that, you are giving this file to Windows, Linux, Mac. So all these people have what? All these people have the virtual machine. And in that virtual machine or virtual environment, they have the interpreter. They can run your file in that virtual environment and get what? Get the output which machine can understand. Okay. So now after that, finally Python. Here I shown you high level languages and type, compiler based language, interpreter based language. JavaScript is an interpreter based language, and PHP, Perl, Basic. These all are what? These all are the interpreter based language. C, C++, Objective C, COBOL. This is the compiler based language. Java, C Sharp, VB.NET, and Python. These languages are using the hybrid approach. And why we are saying Python is a general purpose language? Simple सा चीज है, कहीं पे भी यूज करो, बस इसीलिए हम क्या बोलते हैं कि Python is a general purpose language. So here we can use Python. We can use Python in uh, image interpretation. We can use Python in ArcGIS, QGIS, raster analysis, and number of places and number everywhere we are using what Python, because Python is in Python different domain we have different packages. धीरे धीरे हम लोग समझेंगे, अभी आप छोड़ो उसको, सिर्फ इतना समझो why we are saying Python is a general purpose language, because we can use Python in the web development, game development, molecular biology, data visualization, scientific computation, data science, AI, ML, GUI based application. Anywhere we are using the Python. Because of that reason, we are saying Python is a general purpose language. अंडरस्टूड गाइस? क्लियर है यहाँ तक? कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं किसी को अभी? अंडरस्टूड?
यस।
Yes.
चलो अच्छी बात है। नाउ हम लोग आते हैं क्वेश्चन पे। चलो देखो, सिंपल क्वेश्चंस है, ठीक है? प्लीज एवरीवन प्लीज ट्राई टू रिस्पॉन्ड। पाइथन इज अ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज कंपाइल्ड लो लेवल, इंटरप्रेटेड हाई लेवल, मशीन लेवल, असेंबली लेवल। क्या है आंसर?
मशीन लेवल।
मशीन लेवल? अबे साले तुम कर क्या रहे थे जैसे ही बैठ के?
Interpreted high level.
इंटरप्रेटर
level.
हाई लेवल।
सिंपल सा चीज है। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, वॉट एवर द लैंग्वेज वी नोज, वॉट एवर द लैंग्वेज वी हर्ड, दीज ऑल लैंग्वेजेस आर द हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज। पहली चीज। अब यहाँ पे दिस इज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, पाइथन इज नॉट द लो लेवल, करेक्ट? लो लेवल केवल एक ही लैंग्वेज है, मशीन लैंग्वेज। बी ऑप्शन इज द इंटरप्रेटेड हाई लेवल। पाइथन इज अ, पहला लाइन हमने पढ़ा था, पाइथन इज अ इंटरप्रेटेड हाई लेवल जनरल पर्पस प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज। ओके, सेकेंड वन, कंप्यूटर अंडरस्टैंड ओनली व्हाट?
Binary.
बाइनरी। वेरी गुड। अ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज इज अ, fill in the blanks between user and computer.
Translator.
Translator.
अरे यार,
Medium of communication.
medium of communication. Okay. Machine language is also called what? बहुत इजी सवाल।
1GL.
1GL, फर्स्ट जनरेशन लैंग्वेज। असेंबली लैंग्वेज यूजेस,
Binary digits.
नहीं,
Second B1.
Second one.
सेकेंड। मैंने बताया था ना कि असेंबली
Mnemonics.
लैंग्वेज,
Mnemonics.
assembly language contains some mnemonics. Java, Python, and C Sharp are the example of low-level language,
level.
machine language, high-level language,
High level.
हाई लेवल।
high-level
Language.
language. A translator converts source code into what?
Machine code.
Machine
code.
code. Correct? Because there is the only purpose of the translator is convert your source code, convert your English language to the binary language or machine language. Which of the following is not a type of translator?
Loader.
Which of the following is not a type of the translator? Assembler, compiler, interpreter, loader.
Loader.
Loader. An assembler converts. क्या करता है assembler? क्या करता है? High level to machine language, assembly to machine language, Python to Java, machine to assembly. अभी मैंने बताया था आपको कि असेंबलर क्या करता है। असेंबलर फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल असेंबलर क्या है? व्हाट इज
High level.
असेंबलर? Assembler is a translator, correct? Assembler translator है, और assembler किसको कन्वर्ट करता है?
assembly to machine
Assembler
language.
assembly को कन्वर्ट करता है ना भाई. In the second generation or in the middle level, we have only one language. That
Yes.
language is the assembly
B.
language, correct?
Assembly.
Assembler is converting assembly language to the machine language.
Machine language.
A compiler translate the entire program and produce. क्या करता है ये? अच्छे से समझिएगा. Please listen carefully. A compiler translate the entire program and produce क्या?
Executable.
आपको
Executable
हाँ, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया है. Executable file, because executable file is the output of the compiler. Interpreted language are generally क्या होता है? देखो अच्छे से आराम से पढ़ो. फास्टर नहीं होता है, हमने ऑलरेडी पढ़ा है अभी. प्लेटफॉर्म इंडिपेंडेंट, easier to debug or not executable.
Easier
क्या
to
होता है
debug.
इसमें?
Easier.
easier to debug है, प्लेटफॉर्म इंडिपेंडेंट भी है, करेक्ट? अभी हम लोग देखा था ना क्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म. तो ये जो है ध्यान रखिएगा. कंपाइल्ड लैंग्वेज आर यूजली स्लोअर, रेडी टू रन, क्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म बाय डिफॉल्ट, पब्लिक सोर्स कोड. बताओ क्या है? ready to run. Okay, compiled based language, whatever the output, as you know, the output is the executable, it is ready to run. In compiled language, the program will not execute if it has
Has an
comment,
error.
it has an error.
It has an error.
बराबर. Interpreted language are generally not portable, platform specific, क्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म, मशीन डिपेंडेंट. क्या होता है? अभी हम लोगों ने बात किया ना. इंटरप्रेटेड लैंग्वेज मतलब किसी भी मशीन में हम उसको
Cross platform.
हाँ, किसी भी मशीन में रन कर सकते हैं, तो दैट इज कॉल्ड द क्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म. पाइथन फॉलोज विच अप्रोच? प्योर कंपाइल्ड, प्योर
Hybrid.
इंटरप्रेटेड, हाइब्रिड और इंटरप्रेटेड मशीन लैंग्वेज. वेरी ठीक है. तो आज का कहानी यहीं खत्म हुआ है.